All right, so emergency press conference of some sort for Tweener head tennis and for all tennis fans out there, because recently the leak of the statement that all players have to sign for going to the U.S. Open has been leaked on Twitter by Oleg S or at Anna K forever. And honestly, it's not surprising, but it's also kind of shocking what players are giving up to play at this tournament, and it's very annoying to see the wording that has been issued inside of the statement as well for players to sign, because all this jargon and all this whatever that's going into this statement shows you how much time and effort that the U.S. Open has hired lawyers for. And I mean, they're really trying to make sure that that they're not being responsible for anything that goes on. I mean, the main statement that just has everyone shocked, really, and I have it right here. I voluntarily assume full responsibility for any risks, including death, that may be sustained by me or by others who come into contact with me as a result of my presence in the facilities, whether caused by the negligence of the NTC or otherwise. NTC referring to the USTA and to the Arthur Ashe Stadium and people working at the facility when the U.S. Open happens, which, for me, they're basically saying we have things put into place. We have issues that have to be looked at. But if you get sick or if you get affected by anyone, we are not responsible for any mishaps that we have done and any mishaps that come onto you because of COVID-19, which is a very lawyer thing to say, in my opinion. But in the end, it's not my issue because I'm not going. There's no media going. The only people responsible are the people that are going to the U.S. Open in Cincinnati. This looks like it's just for the U.S. Open, though. But the biggest shocking thing, for me at least, is the information that came from the U.S. Open live stream when the U.S. Open first announced that it was going to be held, and the new president and their COVID-19 doctor that would partake in making sure everything was going to go well for the tournament. It was a question, and I'm going to read it off again. This is from June 17th of this year. The tournament director, the new one, the president said, not the new president, Stacy, was asked, will players be required to sign an insurance waiver of some sort absolving the tournament of responsibility if there is a positive test, meaning that will the U.S. Open be liable for anything that happens to them? So she said the entire plan is to, and I'll read you the full statement. I'm not just going to read the highlighted part from the doctor, but from what Stacey Allister said, she said the entire plan is to set up to mitigate risk. As Dr. Hanlon has said, it is possible that someone may test positive. We have all of the medical doctors under the leadership of our chief medical officer, Dr. Alexis Colvin of Mount St. Sinai, Dr. Brian Daniels, director of player services. They will be looking after the athletes along with many other medical professionals to help us. If an athlete does test positive, we have designed and set up an area where there will be isolated, more medical professionals will care for them. And then it goes on to say, as in every year, the health and well-being of our athletes, their safety, their health is paramount to our medical team. It will be unwavering during this event. And then Dr. Brian, this is the main part that I want you guys to focus on. Dr. Brian Hanline said, two observations. One is there has been a lot of talk of waivers in different situations. Sometimes universities say they want a waiver to be signed. Sometimes states saying they want to provide waivers to universities. At the board level at the USTA, that has not been discussed. So it hasn't been. So at that time, at June 17, 2020, it was not discussed whether or not a waiver was going to be put into place. But obviously, now that there has been leaked information, it has been put into place. And he says it really doesn't make a lot of sense to have players sign that because, look, they're at risk of developing COVID from many different scenarios. He's saying that it's not just the U.S. Open and the tournament's fault. It could be from any scenario. So, meaning that they're not fully to blame. It's highly unlikely it's going to happen at the U.S. Open. Now, when he says it's highly unlikely it's going to happen at the U.S. Open, one, either he's referring to the waiver that they're going to be signed, or two, that they're going to get COVID. Interesting statement. Because, so let's bring all players from Europe to the United States, a hotbed, still for COVID-19, and New York has recently been declared in a state of emergency for another 30 days. And let's put them all together. Look, it has been done successfully with World Team Tennis and Battle of the Brits. Yes, it's been done successfully. But this is a bigger event, bigger venue, in a place that has been affected more from COVID-19 than other places in the United States. And it shocks me because where does it say? It says the statement that they have to sign says, I understand this is a release of liability and agree that it is valid forever. Valid forever. Just put that into perspective. Valid forever. Not just the tournament, not just for the rest of the year, forever. So you can imagine what they're trying to say with this contract that players have to sign before coming to the U.S. I don't even want to read more of this because it's just going to confuse me. How are players literally have to get a lawyer just to read this? You think, like, for me, it's like saying you agree to the terms of Apple. Like, all those things that you have to sign, or like say I agree with when you download an app or when you download the new software. It's like, okay, you don't think about it. And that's what players do when they sign these contracts sometimes. They have to actually go in and look at everything that's going on and see. Because who puts forever? Who puts forever in a statement like this? Who? So the U.S. Open is trying to make sure that they're not liable for anything. And they seemed so confident when they did the U.S. Open live press conference for everyone, announcing that they were going to have the tournament. But then they go on to say that they are going to sign this and that it's valid forever. I really don't know what to think about it. And I really want players to reach out and let me know what they think of this information, because there's a lot going on when it comes to this. And I really want your guys' opinion as well. So let me know what you guys think of this. You can go check it out. It's public on Twitter now. Some players and media have already picked up on it and have started talking about it. That's why I wanted to make this video. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know that the waiver that players have to sign has been released. These are my thoughts. And yeah, hopefully there's more on the matter to come. But in the meantime, please stay safe. Please wash your hands. Please wear a mask. Please stay 6 feet apart. Have a good one.